Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q1 FY2024 earnings conference call of Kriti Industries Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. At this time, I would now like to hand the conference over to Ms. Purvangi Jain of Valorem Advisors. Thank you, and over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all. My name is Purvangi Jain from Valorem Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Kriti Industries India Limited. On behalf of the company, I would like to thank you all for participating in the company's earnings call for the first quarter of financial year 2024. Before we begin, let me mention a short cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's con call may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risk and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. Such statements are based on management's belief as well as assumptions made by and information currently available to the management. Audiences are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements in making any investment decisions. The purpose of today's earnings call is purely to educate and bring awareness about the company's fundamental business and financial quarter under review. Now, let me introduce you to the management participating with us in today's earnings call. We have with us Mr. Shiv Singh Mehta, Chairman and Managing Director, and Mr. Rajesh Sisodia, Chief Financial Officer. Without any further delay, I request Mr. Shiv Singh Mehta to start his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Purvangi. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the earnings conference call of Kriti Industries India Limited for the quarter 1 of financial year 2024. After challenging last year, we have been able to bring business on positive track, and total sales volume for the quarter 1 stood at 25,473 metric tons. The figure are not comparable as last year, which was greatly impacted by fire, but they show significant jump in volume from the earlier years. The low base price of raw material is helping industry to grow at much better rates. EBITDA margin for this quarter were primarily affected due to fall in PVC resin prices, which fell from rupees 91 per kg in the end of Q4 23 to rupees 79 in Q1 financial year 24. Now I hand over the call to our CFO, Mr. Rajesh Sisodia, to give you financial highlights.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me take you through the financial performance of our company on a consolidated basis. The revenue for the quarter 1, financial year 2024, stood at INR rupees 280 crore, which was up by 52% on year-on-year basis and 48% QOQ basis. Our EBITDA stood at INR 17.4 crore, with EBITDA margins reported at 6.22%. And net profit was reported at INR 7.8 crores with margin of around 2.79%. Thank you. I would like to open up the floor for questions, if any.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We take the first question from the line of Mr. Rahul Jain from Crescent Wealth. Please go ahead, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, Rahul, you are audible.
Thanks, Shivji. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and sir, congratulations for the great numbers on the sales part, volume part. So we have practically recorded the highest sales on a quarterly basis till date, and also I think the highest volumes per quarter is what we have recorded in June quarter. With whatever data I have, I think we recorded about 24,600 volumes in the June 19 quarter. Post that, this is the highest across all the quarters. And so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Sir, the questions, firstly, sir, so after such a fantastic growth on the sales, and the sales being primarily led by volume and also led by the higher margin agri business, is what my understanding is. So our EBITDA margins did not show much growth. So if you could share some details, where have we lost in terms of EBITDA margins? It could have been higher. So due to what it could be lower, given the sales at 280 crores?
You see, as I was explaining in my initial opening remarks, the raw material prices both for PVC and PE fell during this quarter from a level of 91 to the lowest was 75, and it was around 78.8 towards the end, that is on June 30th. So there was a continuous decline in prices during this quarter. Similarly, we are focusing on BP, and a lot of efforts are going for promotion of BP. And I am happy to say that even BP has shown improvement in terms of overall volume. So as we will improve the proportion of BP sales, this volatility of material impact will also come down significantly on our business. And now the prices are at the bottom. Rather, in last 3 weeks, prices are already looking up a bit. So you would see that at these lower end of prices, even the industry will see a significant growth in coming quarters. So we would see improvement both on top line and bottom line as we go forward.
Sure. So, sir, what could have been the inventory loss during this quarter? So I believe that could be...
For a continuous operation, it is very difficult to directly relate, but if you can see that there is a downward price movement of almost 12%, then you can work out on a total turnover of about 250 crores. Everything even at about, say, 4% or 3%, it will be range of 5 to 7 crores minimum impact of trading losses.
Okay. So if the prices would have been stable, our margins would have been higher by around 2.5%. Is that a correct assumption?
Surely.
Sure. Sir, coming to building products, yes, we have had a fantastic volume scale up. So volumes have almost reached roughly about 1,600 tons in this quarter. And you mentioned in the previous quarter also that we were working and spending money on marketing and distribution excess. So 2 parts. One, how do we see the further scale up of volumes and revenues for building products going forward? And secondly, on the marketing side, are we probably almost done on the expenses in terms that they will remain at the current level, or you will see further growth in the marketing spend also going ahead?
So as our volumes are growing, we are keeping our push on marketing expenses as well. So we'll continue to focus on marketing expenses at least during the whole of this financial year. Because while we are scaling up our volumes, we are also improving our distribution, and we are also working on our brand promotion in the urban and new areas wherever we are trying to penetrate. We'll see a continuous effort on the marketing effort.
So how do we see the scale up in building products going forward in next year?
Our growth rates will further improve as we go forward.
Sure. So, and with regards to the growth in agri, sir, there also we have recorded record volumes on the agri side. So again, is it led by our primary states, MP, Rajasthan and Maharashtra? And stroke, have we gained some significant volumes in the newer territories also?
You see, the growth rates in these states have been more, but if you see percentage-wise, the newer territories may show significantly more numbers, but actual, in terms of total tonnage, the growth is more in Maharashtra, Rajasthan and MP.
So I do understand that percentage-wise other states might be higher, but I was trying to understand the absolute number in any of the new states, maybe the southern states or northern. You could name a few of them if possible. Have we now gained some significant penetration which can help us to grow our market share on a much higher scale and in a shorter frame of time now going ahead?
You see, even in other states, we are showing some growth regularly. But you see the volume in these three states is much more. Some additional volumes have come in some southern states, but the actual numbers, if you see, the significant growth is in MP, Maharashtra, Rajasthan.
Okay. And sir, last question from my side. Given that the last 3 quarters we have had decent numbers in terms of sales, volume as well as the value, profits are also gradually growing up. And so from here on, can we now see a much more aggressive push on garnering more market share, penetrating the newer states at higher scale, say, and a better sales growth? Because in the previous quarter, you had mentioned that you are looking at around 10 to 12, 13% growth. But given that now we have attained a very good scale, and this has been going for 3 consecutive quarters after almost 4-6 quarters of bad times, can we see a more aggressive push from the management going ahead now?
So management will certainly put in all the push and efforts to increase the numbers. And we are seeing market also growing at these prices. So we hope to maintain our anticipated numbers during the current year, quarter on quarter.
Okay. Thank you, sir. In case of more questions, I'll come back and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on to the next question, a reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. We take the next question from the line of Mr. Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
But thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. So just I wanted to understand, first up, you mentioned the inventory loss in this quarter is close to about 6 to 7 crores, right?
So I was saying this one estimation. We can't have exact numbers because it's a continuously falling market.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I said, that if I work out, say 3 to 4% inventory loss, because the price fall is 12%. So because you are continuously liquidating inventory, so 3 to 4% is there. So if I work out on 250 crore sale, it would work out to about 6 to crores or plus minus something.
Okay. And it is largely driven by the PVC resin fall, right, from 91 rupees to 79 rupees.
Yeah, right. It had dipped down to 75 in between. So that's how the market was.
And what would be the current rate, sir?
Current is about 80. In 6 months, the prices have again come up. You don't know, there is steep fall because, as the international scenario exists today, most of them.
Okay. And do we have any kind of view on the PVC resin prices? How do you expect? I think you did mention that you expect it to go up from here. Now, prices have bottomed out, right?
I said prices have bottomed out. Going up is a subject which is very difficult to predict. But yes, these are the lowest prices, and at these prices, even what we talk to international suppliers or manufacturers of PVC, they find it difficult to sustain their volumes and operations at these prices. So they are always looking to push up the prices. Because of the world scenario today, most of the economies are going through a little difficult recessionary or phase, they are not doing great. So the consumptions of commodity worldwide have come down a bit.
Understood.
But PVC as such structurally is short in one market. So there will be some periods of low prices, but we will bounce back, which we have seen time and again.
Understood. So, sir, hypothetically, you have to assume that these prices remain stable at these range. I mean, around 80 rupees per kg levels. So, what sort of, steady-state EBITDA margin at this PVC resin prices our business can do actually?
At these prices, if they continue, 10 to 12% should be doable for any company.
10 to 12% EBITDA margin.
Yeah.
But I think even if you assume that 2.5% kind of an impact in this quarter, so our adjusted EBITDA margin will still be in the range of 8 to 9%, right?
That's right.
So how are we saying 10 to 12% would be a steady state?
A lot of work on BP. So regression and promotion of product also is one of the areas where we continue to focus on promoting building materials in this year going forward.
Okay, understood. Fair enough, I got it. And what sort of growth we are seeing this year in terms of top line?
We are seeing straight 10% growth surely for the year end.
Okay. So on the revenue terms, right? Not on the volume.
And you would see that we are doing better than that quarter to quarter.
Quarter to quarter in the YOY sense, right? I mean, because this quarter itself we have done about 280 crores. Hello? Quarter to quarter on YOY sense, right, sir?
So YOY we will grow. Quarter to quarter, first quarter, second quarter is a rainy season, so agriculture business will be down in this quarter Q2. Q3 again it picks up. Hello?
Okay, understood. Yeah, that's it from my side, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. We take the next question from the line of Mr. Rupesh Tatia from Intelsense Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible.
So, what kind of volume we can pencil in the building products division for FY24?
Can you repeat your question, please?
What kind of volume we can expect, sir, in FY24 in building products division?
For the whole year?
For the whole year,
yes. Yeah. For the whole year, we would be looking at almost 8,000, 9,000 tons minimum.
But, sir, our capacity in the presentation is only 6,600, so we are also working on expanding the capacity?
Yeah. There are certain areas where we are able to use some of our agri capacities for certain building material, which is, we can shift from one product to another. And certain areas we are sure we are again investing further to expand our capacity during this financial year.
So what kind of peak production, we can do, sir?
Mostly our investment will be creating additional fittings for the molds.
Okay. So 8,000-9,000 is roughly the volume we expect in building products this year.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, I see this distributor number has remained around 490 in several presentations for several quarters. But I know that you have, appointed several distributors. There are a lot of programs for building products. So can you talk about it? Why that number is at 490 and how are we expanding our distribution in building products?
You see, last investor call also I had said, earning calls, that it's easy to increase number of distributors, but it's more important that you make them productive. So instead of just going for numbers, we are first maturing our distributorships. That's where our focus is. Because all distributors don't perform optimally and fully. So you have to help them, you have to work with them to help become effective. So there are clear focus from the company that first we will strengthen our distributorship where we are rather than spreading too thin.
So maybe you can give some color state-wise, sir, where our distributors are doing well in building products and where we need to, do some improvement, some change in our strategy.
We do all these kind of analysis internally. Regularly, these kind of reviews are made and we work to identify where we have to put in extra effort or where we have to upgrade ourselves, and it's a journey.
Okay, I see. And sir, just to close this question, what kind of capex we can expect in building products this year, so that we are ready with capacity for.
We are already looking at some kind of 10-15 crores of capex because this is necessary to continuously improve our supply as per the market requirements.
Okay, and what kind of capacity would that give?
No, as I was talking to the earlier call, there will be additional investment which will help us to achieve about 8,500 tons if required in building material this year.
Yeah. This year, sir, is clear, 8,000, 9,000. I am talking about next year, sir, FY25.
Next year, let us see by October, November, which is kind of market growth we see, which products require more focus in terms of specific sizes, and accordingly we'll plan for the next year. So normally we roll out our next year plan by end of November. So this is where we would be able to freeze our plans more clearly.
Okay. Sir, then another question is, I talked to several of your distributors in Maharashtra, and consistently I got a feedback that the brand is not that well known. So, I mean, I think in several calls you have said that, you are doing what you said, ZBB, zero below budget marketing. But are we ready now with above budget, some money to do branding and marketing activities?
No, we are already doing marketing and branding activity, but it is more on the BTL side than ATL side. And you see, in the new areas you go, if you have not created your distribution network ready and you start with the ATL, it doesn't yield any kind of results. So first we have to focus on strengthening our distribution network in new areas before we think about ATL. So we are doing BTL and regularly doing it, and it is helping us. That's why our volume in all the areas and territories are improving as per our plan.
Okay. Sir, my final question is, can you just give me the short-term and long-term debt number as of Q1?
Numbers?
Yeah, short-term and long-term debt, sir.
So, as I said, that for this year, we are looking at a total growth of about 10 to 12% for sure, which in the top line number. And we certainly feel that going forward, once our brand matures, our distribution is strengthened further, we'll see an improvement in rate of growth.
No, sir. I am asking about long-term borrowings and short-term borrowings.
Borrowing? Presently, we have a total borrowing on our books is about 21-22 crores. Long-term. And short-term borrowing keeps varying as per the season, and because we have peaks and troughs in agricultural season. So, like today, the borrowing will significantly go down because we are entering into monsoon. So it keeps varying, but long-term borrowing is about 21-22 crores.
The borrowing has increased, sir, in last 3 years from 80 crore to 120 crore, short-term plus long-term combined. What kind of number can we see, sir, by March 24?
You see, what happens towards March, if we build up a lot of inventory for the ensuing season, which begins in April, our current assets go up. but during the year it gets liquidated. So the borrowings come down. Say today they'll come down steeply from what it was at the end of March. So overall towards March, and it all depends what kind of inventory volume we see looking to the price of raw material or market anticipation. So that all depends at that period. But this will be within the same range what you have seen in the last year. I don't see a significant jump in terms of total borrowing at that point in time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. A reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. We take the next question from the line of Mr. Rahul Jain from Crescent Wealth. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity again. So with regards to the industrial volumes, and that is supposed to be a lower margin business for us, in last 3 quarters, consistently the volumes have gone up from an average of about 1,400 per quarter. It went up to almost 3,600 for December, then 5,000 for March, and current quarter it is around 5,000. So and we have been generally reluctant to be very aggressive on this segment because of the credit side. So going ahead, do we now see the volumes currently at around 5,000 be stable at that level for this particular segment?
Going forward for next 2 or 3 quarters, this quarter may show a little dip, but going forward in quarter 3 and quarter 4, we hope to maintain around same numbers, that is 4,000 to 5,000 in between. The reason is that today there is a good demand, but we are not trying to increase our volume here, and we are careful and selective in terms of customers whom we will supply. Because as you have said, and as I have been maintaining, that this is an area where normally we have seen that payment cycle depends on government payments to the EPC contractors. But for this current year, which is before election, every EPC contractor is quite bullish in terms of volumes they get. And payment cycle, if it is maintained well, so we will limit ourselves within our defined limits of total exposure to this segment.
Sure. And sir, is it possible to share what percentage of volumes we have done from the 3 states put together, MP, Maharashtra and Rajasthan?
I mean, I'll ask Rajesh to send these details to you, if you can just let me know. So we'll work out and give you, because we have all this data available with us.
Okay, sure. And sir, with regards to the overall value growth this year, in this quarter 1, we have already done 280 crores. And even if I assume just a 10% growth on the previous 3, the balance 3 quarter sales as compared to last year, then so can we target at least 10% growth on the balance 3 quarters year-on-year growth?
We all have that plan and wishes, but we need your good wishes as well.
Sir, वो तो हमेशा आपके साथ है. That is always there.
तो बस हमारी कोशिश भी है पूरी कि हम बिल्कुल strive करें to achieve that.
Because then for the overall year, our value growth or the sales revenue growth at current prices as we speak today, it should be at least around 20%. Even if I assume just a 10% growth for the balance. Is that correct way of looking at it?
That's a fair way, because the raw material prices, what they were last year to this year, the volume-wise, the growth should be around that.
Sure. And sir, with regards to just to add to the previous participant, what we were saying, I think given that overall volumes in this quarter have been around 26,000, and assuming that the volume growth continues coming from building products and agri both, at what point of time do you feel you would like to now set up a new plant somewhere in the south? Because for last 3-4 years we have been, except say for 12-15 months of bad times when the industry went through tough times and we had a fire. But we have been trying to seed the new market from somewhere around 2019 year. So, and currently last 3 quarters we have done exceptionally well. So in order to get the next level of growth, how do we get it in terms of the new states? Because probably the current 3 states of Maharashtra, MP and Rajasthan, we must have gained already quite a sizable market share from where the growth cannot be easier.
What you are saying, exactly this is what is up our mind. We are studying this subject, and I think by end of this financial year, we may be taking a call on this particular aspect of going to new region and territory.
Okay. Sure. And we continue to see volume growth in building products as we speak?
Yes, we are seeing the growth month on month. I mean, quarter to quarter, certainly yes, but even month on month, we are seeing a growth there.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, you may please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. We'll take the next question from the line of Mr. Rupesh Tatia from Intelsense Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity again, sir. My question is what kind of contribution we have from, Jal Se Nal scheme? How do we cater to that demand, and what kind of contribution we have in Q1?
Today, we don't have much of sales to Jal Se Nal because it's a registration process, and then you have to start supplying to them, which we are in process, and I think it will begin now.
And that supply will be through distributors, sir?
Certainly. In areas wherever, distributors are there, normally they would be able to supply because they require regular supplies, which is on their construction planning based. So distributors normally supply to them.
And currently there is, negligible sales, or no sales from supply. Sorry?
No, presently we don't have direct much supplies to them, but yes, they are now starting this process of registration, approvals, everything is getting through, and that's how these supplies are starting.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. We take a follow-up question from the line of Mr. Rahul Jain from Crescent Wealth. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity again. Sir, you talked about building products volume growth and also on the industrial side. So looking at agri, how do we see the scale-up of volume growth going ahead for the current year? We have done record volumes in Q1, and I do understand Q2 is always a soft quarter. But if we look at the current trend, the prices being stable, and as you mentioned in your initial remarks also, at lower prices, the demand is generally higher. So how do we see the balance of the year in terms of volume growth for agri segment on a year-to-year basis?
Well, you would have noticed in month of July, we had fairly good widespread rains across. More than what was projected or thought about. So generally, the crop condition so far is fairly good. The sowing is good. The initial germination is good. So, and the prices at which the raw material or polymers are today, they are also quite favorable. So if there is a agriculture growth, there is a fair price, there is pent-up demand, we see every reason to be optimistic in terms of growth numbers for the year.
So if I can ask a direct question, sir, last year, the balance 3 quarters of Q2, Q3, Q4, we did a volume of about 45,000 tons last year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And For the full year, the tonnage was 58,000. Sorry, I'll come to the agri part. I'm so sorry. In agri, we did a volume of about 33,000 for the 3 quarters, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And for the full year, it was 44,000 roughly. Current quarter, we have already done mota 18,800.
Right.
So, in the balance 3 quarters, how do you see the volumes? Can they be somewhere around what? A 10% growth over the previous year's 3 quarters? How do we look at it? Given the situation and given your penetration in the newer states, what kind of volume growth are we building in now for the agri segment?
Rahul, I think you have been very good at statistics. So I must say that I will learn from you how to calculate. But certainly what it looks like is more optimistic numbers than what we had said.
No, sir. This is based on data जो आपने दिया है, sir. I have not done anything else. It is your numbers.
So I am quite sure that my numbers and your numbers makes me think that the opportunity is more than what I had suggested.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Any particular state which you feel after these 3 states where you see much better traction today compared to what it was a year ago?
What I have seen, the market down south, at least 2-3 states are quite, quite large markets. Not only that, we have seen little in UP also is working out to be a state where volume growth can be expected in better numbers going forward.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. A reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, you may please press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. We take a follow-up question from the line of Mr. Rupesh Tatia from Intelsense Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity again, sir. Sorry, one final question, sir, is I think the anti-dumping duty on Chinese or other, PVC resin expired in India last year. And I mean, I'm sure the industry is petitioning to bring back the anti-dumping duty. Probably they're working with Ministry of Commerce or Finance, whatever. So do you have a view of where things are and do you expect the duty will come back this year?
Can you repeat your question? I think it's not very clearly audible.
Sorry, you can hear me, sir? This is better?
Yes, please repeat.
Yeah. So I think the anti-dumping duty on PVC resins, I think, expired last year. On Chinese PVC resin especially. And most of the PVC resin players in India are reporting margin compression. So I'm sure the Indian PVC resin industry is petitioning, Ministry of Commerce or Ministry of Finance that anti-dumping duty, and we should bring back the anti-dumping duty on PVC resin. So my question to you is, do you have a view of where the PVC resin industry is in terms of anti-dumping duty? Do you think the anti-dumping duty will come back in FY24?
You see, anti-dumping duty is against injury to the local industry. And as stands today, the world over prices of material being supplied to different countries is all the same price level. So there is no direct injury to Indian industry. So I don't anticipate any anti-dumping duty coming in form of imports of polymers into India. Yes, there are certain discussions about the poor quality PVC which was below 4 ppm. Maybe there is some duty or restriction on that, which is a very inferior raw material which was coming in some volumes from some markets. So otherwise, for a regular suspension grade, I don't foresee any kind of duty coming in.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. A reminder to all the participants, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. A reminder to all the participants, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. As there are no questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Shiv Singh Mehta from Kriti Industries for closing comments.
I would like to thank all the participants for their active participation and support they have been given to us all these years, and we look forward to your encouragement, which is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Kriti Industries Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.